Grace and peace be unto you. This is your video on the three books of Israel's restoration. The three books I'm going to give you a quick summary of is the book of Ezra, the book of Nehemiah, and the book of Esther. Okay, this deals with Israel's restoration. You know, after when you read the books of history, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, you see how God's people have turned away from him, and they went through just what they went through in the book of Judges, and how God allowed Babylonians at the end of Kings going and Chronicles going into these three books, how God allowed Babylonians to come and put them in bondage or captivity. And so in the book of Ezra, it sees how God uses Ezra with a leader that's not of Israel, Cyrus. He lets most of the Jews, while they were under their authority, he lets most of the Jews return back to the land of Israel, and he gave them a leader by the name of Zerubbabel. And you can find this in the book of Ezra. And with that, Ezra returned with more Jews, and he built the temple. Okay, and then I know you're familiar with Nehemiah. Nehemiah was the cupbearer of a foreign king, and God gives him favor with that king to go back and rebuild the walls, because some people were there in the city, but the city was laying dormant because of there were no walls. And how Nehemiah desired to go back and build the walls and around the city, the city of Jerusalem, and how the Lord gave him so much favor that not only did the king send Nehemiah, he gave Nehemiah work leave. He also gave Nehemiah military men for protection. And he gave Nehemiah finances to go undergird this project. And so Nehemiah was noted for rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, getting permission from the king of Persia. The king of Persia. And a revival was there in the land. And another book is the book of Esther. You have to realize some have even questioned the authority of Esther, because some say was at one time it wasn't in the canon of the scriptures, because it was alluded that it was more like a fairy tale story, because it is like a rags to riches Cinderella story, because you have Ezra, who is an orphan, left to the care of her older cousin or uncle, depends on what commentary you read, but his name is Mordecai. And we know that the king of the land has a wife by the name of Queen Vashti. Vashti displeases the king because she does not want to come in and make herself of a sport in front of a bunch of drunk men at her husband's party. And so under peer pressure, the king puts her out, puts her away, and now the king needs another wife, and they're going through this pageantry, attempting to find the king another wife, and Mordecai pushes Esther out into the best of the places to receive perfume and mentorship, so she could be in the running. And as you read this, you know how this story goes. Esther is received as the wife of the king, which is by God's divine providence, because then there's somebody else in the kingdom by the name of Mordecai, not Mordecai, by the name of Haman. Haman wants to kill the Jews. He tries to get the Jews killed. And it was Esther that went before the king and caused the people to be spared. Write this in your notes. I want to ask you, what is the festival called that celebrates Esther going before the king and sparing the lives of the Jews? What is the festival that the Jews celebrate even till this day? Okay, because the Lord blessed. She went before the king, and the king not only spared all the Jews, but Haman, the very gallows he had laid for somebody else to die, and he died in them. And so you have to watch how you treat people. But these are the three books that talk about the restoration of Israel into that land. All right, let's get ready for the next video. God bless.